Welcome to the Roy Anthony and every Tuesday and every Thursday. Y'all tap in.
Is this thing on? Can you hear me?
Roy
Is anybody out
Show
there?
is the spot to be, baby.
Hey, tune in. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the homie Big Hank
and Cynthia.
It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the co-host Big Hank
and Cynthia.
It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. Everybody tune in, you dig it? It's funny as hell, my dude. It's when we can kick it.
Every Tuesday.
Everything is going
every
down.
Thursday.
They about to do the most. It ain't a confrontation, it's a conversation, homie. Yo, on the weekends, the Roy Anthony
every
Show.
Tuesday.
It's during the week, homie. The Roy
every
Anthony
Thursday.
Show. What you listening to? The Roy Anthony Show. Come on and get a
Tap in.
before we gotta
Tap
go.
in.
What you listening to? The Roy Anthony
every
Show.
Tuesday.
Come on and kick it with us. The Roy Anthony
every
Show.
Thursday.
It's going down, homeboy. The Roy Anthony Show. Co-host
Tap in.
Big Hank. We getting it. What you think? It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the homie Big Hank
and Cynthia.
It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the co-host Big Hank
and Cynthia Joy.
What it do? What it do? What it do? Welcome back to the Roy Anthony Show. This is, if you know, we started season 7 Tuesday, and this is Thursday, June the 8th of 2023. Want to give a shout out to Just Me. They said, "Sup, y'all?" They said, "Welcome back. Thank you. Appreciate it, man. Thank you for anticipating joining the show with us." As y'all know, I'm Roy Anthony. My co-stars will be coming in. Big Hank will be here shortly. Miss Cynthia Joy has some disheartening news this morning. Her auntie is on her last leg, is what she's told me, and one of her cousins is in the hospital. No, I think it was her brother. She says it's in the hospital. Yeah, it's kidney issues, and so we send our prayers to them. And I thank God that they find the show so important that they reach out to us and let everybody knows what's going on. Just say you don't have to be so nice. You know who I am, Ohio here. It's just say just me. I don't know if this is my man. I don't know if this is Dean Cerny or Richie King is in the house. That's our producer, head producer, CEO, bro. My man sending emotions for Cynthia Joy. I don't know if that's Dean's earning something, fresh me up on who's just me, because that's what it says on there. Like I said, I'm Roy Anthony. Welcome to the Roy Anthony Show. Oh, my man Dean Cerny, he's out. All right, for real, man. Got nothing but love for him, because he be having me crying, laughing. Because I like when people josh with me about, but yes, just want to say thank everyone for showing up, and those who watches the show, even after it's recorded. We're live through YouTube Live, coming through StreamYard. We do show live on some Facebook platforms, because we're on 8 or 9 different platforms, due to the WO Entertainment, which was created by Richie King, who's actually run for president of the United States. I said if he make it on the ballot, he definitely get my vote, along with the co-creator of the WO, which is Goose. And the WO was created to bring awareness to how our veterans commit suicide on a daily rate. We had Mr. Anthony, how you doing, brother? Got some of the crew out on ship today. Hey, what's up, Justin? They coming out there from Oregon. I know that's where they at and stuff, man. I'm making my way up there because I told my man see, I got so many different names. People been shouting me out to me. Um, my man out in from the backwoods veterans. Damn, he's gonna be pissed if I don't forget his name. But he's supposed to be having something with the Jeeps August the 4th. And I said, I'm definitely, matter of fact, I was gonna get my tickets for there. Let me continue with the credits. Caitlin, matter of fact, the homie I'm talking about, Caitlin is his wife. Y'all help me out, send out the name and stuff. But got nothing but love and respect. When I seen Dean Cerny was coming in, yeah, Carl Loomis, that's my man. Must be talking about Carl, yeah, because so many names and I'll be wanting to shout it out. But first, I want to go through the credits that the WO, which was created by Rich and Goose, social producer Blue Phoenix. We had a video of Blue Phoenix. Got much love for it. My man Ethan Daly, and then our sponsor Matthew Brooks, whose birthday was Tuesday. Thank God he's seen another year. And we pride ourselves to try to strike up on conversations because our veterans isn't just one. It doesn't even, when you a veteran, it's not even about race. Veterans are soldiers who went out there and put their lives on the line for the freedom that we supposed to have here in America. And the veterans, when they stayed in their barracks, wasn't just whites and wasn't just blacks and Latinos. Anybody who wants to serve in the military is entitled. And why we strike up conversations, because sometimes we wonder why there's so much confusion, because we really don't have an understanding of each other. When me and Richie was first getting to work together, as far as I coming in, because I have to be me. We would bump heads sometimes because of some of the things that I would say, because I came up as I'm a black man in America. My family's black. But I love all my veterans because three-quarters of my family members have served in the military. I just had an uncle who just passed away at the VA hospital about a month and a half ago. Everyone knows. He was a victim of the Agent Orange from serving in the Vietnam War. All of his organs. I've never seen no one go through the misery that he did. Justin said, irony about our brothers over at WO, they hailed originally from KC, Missouri area. The ship we're going to be doing a show from later on today is USS Kansas City. Oh, okay, for sure. And everybody knows I represent, Long Beach and Kansas City, Kansas, because my mother moved here, and my grandfather on my mother's side moved to Kansas City. My parents, my father, and other family members in Long Beach. So I've always been the two. I represent the two. Carl said, Dean said, we all live together and party together. That part. Now, sometimes, though, we don't. This was one of the things I used to have a problem with, is that we know that the media puts out fake news. And if we recognize that the media puts out fake news, we can't be partial when we hear the news about our neighbors. The news paints blacks as like the black men, we're real dangerous, and the black women are angry and stuff like that. And I have never, when I was growing up, we lived in the neighborhood. When I was in first grade through the fifth grade, we lived in the neighborhood that was all mixed. Our next door neighbor, Miss Pat, she was a white lady. with her son, then Miss Aquino on them. There was an Italian family, and we all tight because mom gave everyone permission. You see them acting up, you get on them, and then you let me know, and, and I'm gonna get on. My white neighbor and Italian neighbors, they didn't believe no spanking. Not Miss Aquino. Ooh, Miss Aquino was a Latino woman. I got a whipping from her. Me and her three sons, and we all four got a whipping. She didn't hold back and stuff. So we've never had that separation. But when you hear the history, and I want people to understand, especially all my neighbors, there's some stuff that I'm gonna show today, and I don't want no one to think that I'm taking it as we're against them. Like here's my other co-star. He's in the house. Let me go and bring him up and stuff. What's up with you, Big Hank?
Man, what's up, Roy? What's happening, baby?
You got it, man. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. Doing real
Okay,
good, man.
for sure. Cynthia had just informed me right before the show her auntie is on her last leg, like she's heading out, and her brother is in the hospital for some kidney issues.
Damn.
And now I was speaking of, how, if y'all know me and Big Hank, we kind of rough on the corners and stuff because we come from hood, but we got love in our hearts for God and for people, for humanity.
Yes, sir.
I've been around here. Look, I was telling everybody Tuesday when I went to his comedy show, it was all races of people. It was a Latino brother who was the MC.
Yes, sir.
We had never looked at it like that.
Yes, sir.
And I was saying about how one time how we, me and Richie sometimes, because his constituents, and some of the things we'll say or whatever, and I was like, if people so much against the media sometimes, it's just fake news on certain things, and so if like former President Donald Trump will say it's fake news, we can't believe the news when it comes to blacks. It was said that black men won't take care of the kids. To where I've seen where we've had a show one time about child support, and the child support affects us all. If you're a person, it didn't make a difference if you're a black person. We had white, Asian, and stuff, and just in this system, this judicial system is set up to divide us. Now, the things that we're going to talk today, because we're still on that subject of when you ever get tired and just throw your hands up and say, fuck it.
Fuck it.
Yeah. Now, I told people we're not being derogatory. It's not a derogatory statement. Sometimes people don't want to hear a story because they looking at the forest instead of the trees. They see the trees, not the forest.
Right.
You let one word cancel you out. And the thing is for you to know me, I'm learning stuff about my own history of things. When I was in school, I learned about Custer's Last Stand and the different revolutionary wars, how they came upon America. But one of the things they didn't share with us sometimes is how America has done our people.
Right.
And I don't have to go way back to slavery. We ain't gonna go into them. I'm coming into the civil modernization when a penny, nickels, dimes, quarters came into existence. Because this money, our money is made from dead presidents, right? So when this currency was in fact, this is after the Civil War. It's not that I want anybody to feel guilty. I want you to empathize and realize that you don't have the whole story.
Yeah.
Blacks make up 13.5% of the United States. We have fought in every war And I used to say, blacks, we must be insane because we do the same things over and over, thinking different results. We want the freedom. I want my white neighbors to eat and have shelter, just like I want my Latinos to eat and have shelter and be able to raise a family, like I want my blacks and the Asian. You feel me?
Yeah.
If we don't know each other's history, like somebody told me, they did not know that, you know, especially some black guys didn't know that the Moors was the ones who taught English to each one. We was the creator of that language. Not saying that, oh, I'm better than you. You speaking my language. You know, it's not that. It's just that we got to know our history, because then they tried to flip it on us one day and said that we were speaking Ebonics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we sugar up, pig Latin, and all that. When they dumped drugs in our neighborhood, it seemed like overnight in '86, crack was in every major black city. I'm just being factual.
Yeah. Yeah. We didn't have no airplanes to go over there and get that shit. So you know how
No.
to get here.
And they made it so addictive that people were just like, hey, I'm gonna try something, you know, that seemed like it's so popular.
Yeah.
Let me try some. Next thing you know, he was like,
Yeah.
people got hooked.
Yeah.
And so then, you know, because I'm gonna be honest with everyone and stuff, and anybody can look up the actor, I think his name, the one who plays Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr. I was living in Long Beach, and it was all this commotion, police and everything, right, and around behind my apartment, and there was a little alley thing. He was back there and fell asleep with a bunch of crack rocks on his pocket.
Mm-hmm.
They gave him a year at the Betty Ford Clinic. It's not jail time. It's basically cleaning yourself up. And he started being an Iron Man and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas blacks was caught with one rock and was given 10 years and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
After you put it, you see the trick bag they did us.
Mm-hmm.
Now, former President Donald Trump call out the FBI, because there's certain things that goes on. I'm not just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How do drugs pop up in every neighborhood and stuff? How many people we seen die from fentanyl lately?
And now listen, now when the crack was out, it wasn't no pandemic or no epidemic or nothing like that. But now that fentanyl is killing it's killing the white people, and now it's an epidemic, and we need to get everybody help. Shit, they wasn't giving nobody no help back then. They was throwing niggas in jail.
Yeah, that was their war on drugs, y'all.
Yeah.
If you had an addiction, you going to prison. There was no Betty Ford clinic and stuff. And I say this because we talk on subjects, because our veterans who go out in the other countries to fight the tyranny, because they have to take orders. But it's disheartening, and I can see why someone would feel like, did I waste my time, and to come back and I face it, and I can't live this life like this, and commit suicide. Because it can be depressing if you felt that you supported something that was untrue. Now, America is beautiful. And that's what he was just saying. The attorney said fentanyl is a direct response to the opiate epidemic. Look here, let me tell you something. Big Hank shared something with me, and it stuck to my head. When he was playing football for USC, they was shooting him with Novocaine in his foot and stuff, and it helps with the pain. And then he was telling me that, but when you out season, whatever, you mess with cocaine.
Yes.
And so then I started looking at Novocaine, cocaine. You know, these are opiates, and the body starts wanting.
Right. I need some more. You got to give me some more of that.
Exactly. Just like sugar. Sugar is the most addictive drug in the world. A lot of people don't understand that. That's why we have a lot of problems with kidneys and obesity and stuff, because I was going through it with my mother. She eats a lot of candy bars, curbs your appetite. She came in the house the other day. We said, we ain't gonna get her no candy bar. I came in and she was standing around the corner like, I need a candy bar. I need a Payday or a Hershey. I said, Mom, that's that sugar. I know what I need. She didn't go like that.
He said, Mama, put the gun down. I'm gonna go. Put the gun down. I'm gonna go.
And she kind of startled me because I came in the door and she was like, hey, I need that Payday.
Yeah, I'm gonna need that, man. Yeah.
And so sometimes we gotta say, we say fuck it. Because it's not sometimes a negative, because we still here. We've been through a lot of stuff and we still here, and it ain't on Dean or Justin or Carl or Richie. It ain't on none of them, because they wasn't up here to that. I see a lot of my white neighbors just about poverty as well. I know it was me. Here it is. I'm because sometimes I'm gonna be honest. I was thinking that there's never been no poor white people in America. I used to think that. I thought it was just blacks and then Latinos and stuff. I always thought that the white people was never broke. And I actually thought this until I started meeting. There was I never get. There was a guy named Reggie when I was in high school. His parents abandoned him, and a black family kept him since he was 2. And he used to wear his hair in corn braids and everything. We used to be laughing because it could get real loose, so the girls would tighten up. He real cool, love him. You know what I'm saying? And so because I ain't never known us to, man. If somebody was hungry, I don't care what the race, they coming in the house and we feeding them. I didn't know that. It's because I was ignorant to the fact. I didn't know that whites could be in poverty as well. Because when they put us in the hoods and these project settings and all that, and colonize us to where, I mean, it's like Dr. Dre said, what do you expect animals to do when you let them out of cages? I'm looking at the young man, John Morant. Somebody be like, oh, he's ignorant. He's doing the same thing everybody's been saying. I got the right to have my gun. But not you. You got millions of dollars.
You got the right to have one, but you ain't got to be flashed all on the TV.
That part right there. Well, they flashed it. He put it was on social media, but he's learning something today.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
We call that hard-headedness.
That's exactly
you learned the first time.
That's exactly what
you didn't. And it's bad when I feel like this when Adam Silver said, yes, we're going to announce his punishment after championship. Because that was like me. I remember coming home and my mother said, when you get home from school, I'm going to whoop your butt. Man, that day was so long.
Or how about this one? When your daddy get home, you gonna get your ass whooped. You be like,
I didn't have that. My mother was right there. Look, I remember coming in the house and seeing the switches laying on the stereo. I'm like, oh goodness, what I did. I remember one day I had a relief. I said, Lord, I didn't do nothing. I did nothing. I said, hi, Mom. She said, yeah, I'm waiting for your brother to get home. I'm like, oh, Lord, thank you. You answered my prayer. He said, you ever look at your wife and say, I'm going to go get dinner and go to the woods or the water? You know you broke when you can't afford food. That part. See, now why you didn't know that? And I'm you feel me? We have to learn about each other, which is conversing, having these type of shows where we can converse. Not me talking at you, I'm talking with you. Big Hank. See, Big Hank got to go through. Wait till your dad get home. See,
Well, I mean, for a while, cause you know, moms and pop split up
yeah,
later on. But when I was little, shit, I didn't want
yeah.
that nigga to come home. I didn't want that nigga to come home.
And when I met his dad, I said, boy, he probably wore some Hank blood out back in the day.
I didn't get as many whippings as my little brother. My little brother stayed in trouble. I mean, he stayed in trouble, but you know, I was the older, so I was kind of like spoiled a little bit. They, you know, the older one, you know how that shit go.
Well, no, I felt I was true. It's way different in America because I was one who was like, you should have known. You should have told him. I had to get both, but you know what? I want to bring something up. I want to show this right quick, and this was something to inspire me. This was Tom Hanks.
I read a New York Times piece on a 100-year-old survivor of the Tulsa Massacre. And my question was this: what's the Tulsa Massacre? You know, I was taught American history every 3 years growing up. 5th grade, 8th grade, what comes after 11th grade, and then I studied in junior college, and I've read it ever since for pleasure. How is it that it wasn't until 2 years ago that I heard about the Tulsa Massacre? How is that possible? I've heard about Custer's Little Bighorn. I heard about the Alamo. You know, I heard about the Triangle Shirtwaist Fire. You know, I heard about all kinds of disasters in which people died. But I had never heard about this thing that happened in 1921, only 3 years before my dad was born. In the same year that Donna Reed was born, we didn't hear about this thing that happened in which essentially one of the most successful black communities in America, Black Wall Street, in which everybody was not only burned out of their homes and their businesses, but then driven out of the city limits by an angry mob of, I'm sorry, white people. How is it that this was not taught to me? Because I tell you, at the age of 10, when I was in 5th grade, living in Oakland, California, that would have been a moment of enlightenment for me. That would have told me something very, very different about the city I lived in, not just American history or the city of Tulsa. And it made me mad. It made me mad that somebody had somehow made an editorial process of what was appropriate for us to learn about our own American history. It made me angry that it took until I was, I'm 60, I'll be 66, just about 2 weeks after Juneteenth, I'll turn 66. And it took me 54 years in order to find this out. It's not right. It's not right, and it's doing a disservice to all of America in order to not point out some very, very simple, and dare I say it, facts that can be accepted. I don't want to overuse the word dispassionately, but it can be used dispassionately. That's what happened. Nobody alive today is guilty over of it. Nobody alive today is to blame for it, except perhaps the people who said, let's not talk about that. That's not right.
See, for us to know our history and know each other, there's some powers to be. Let me tell you, anybody, I do not like to be called African American. I like to be called an American. And then if you want to identify like, oh, he was a dark-skinned American.
Black American.
I'm not an African American. This is somebody who came up and said, hey, they was by the powers to be. We're going to call them African Americans. I don't know nothing about Africa. I have never been there. My great-great-great-great-grandfather from Compton. Why would I know about Africa? You know Africa?
No, I never been. I don't know if I got no people over there or nothing. I don't know.
I told somebody said, well, wouldn't you like to go visit Africa? I said, well, I'll be kind of leery because I don't want to be wait a minute. Dean Surrey said, how the hell did he only learn history every 3 years? He only paid attention that first year when he was in the school, and then you know,
he was lost after he said 8. He said, "Well, come after 8."
Yeah, I told him I always been leery. Like if I go to Africa, I don't want to be mistaken for some war criminal that's belonging in one of them countries out there. I mean, like, Oh, Kaluba, hula hula. I said, no, man, my name is Roy Walters. No, you fool, you no. You unwanted, man. No, I'm not. I paid my traffic tickets in LA. No, you wanted for terrorist crimes here in Africa. That's why I told him I'm gonna go visit Ireland for real. I know I ain't did nothing there. I'm gonna go drink some beer and kick it with House of Pain and stuff. I jump around, drink some beer, you know. But I had to get. I was at the point that I said, "Fuck it." We have to know each other, and I don't want to patty cake stuff. You know, we heard what he said, and I'm gonna tell y'all, this is how I felt about the pandemic. I felt just like this brother did. This is how I felt. Check this out, Big
So I don't know if y'all remember me, but I'm one of the damn fools that didn't take the coronavirus serious. So I went outside, got sick, and lost my hair. I had a hair full of hair. Well, now they prescribed me a vaccine for the coronavirus that I got right here, and I'm gonna take it. And it's supposed to make me feel better and grow my hair and everything back. So we're gonna try this and see what happens. All of it. So I'll let you guys know, okay? So this is day 2 of the vaccine for the coronavirus, and as you can see, things are really changing for me here. Like, my hair is really growing back. Like, this vaccine might be the truth. We'll see day 3, okay? Wow. Woke up day 3. Look at this. This vaccine is really working, y'all. Man. Y'all talking about don't trust the white man. Man, look at here. This is day 4. I don't really know what's in this vaccine, but wow. Man, I am so happy, man. Can't wait to go outside again when this is all over. But as you can see, I even got a part right here. Oh, man, I'm looking like Frederick Douglass, man. I'm loving this. Wow. So this is day 5. I don't know what the hell's in this vaccine, but I didn't ask for all this. Now I look like the nigga from the Whispers. This is some bullshit. I look like Bigfoot now. I ain't got a whole goddamn beard. I got some Anthony Davis eyebrows. Nigga, I got a curl. What? This is ridiculous. White man get on my goddamn nerves, man.
That nigga said, I look like the nigga from the Whispers.
He said he got on Anthony Davis eyebrow.
Hey, he was excited. He said, "Man, I don't know what's in this shit, man. I don't know what's in it, man. But thank you, white man. Thank you."
Dean Surdy, he's silly. You know, Dean Surdy won't be bagging on me. He said, "Is that crisscross dad?" Then he said, he called him Black Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, man. Now look, that's one thing about us. We've learned how to party and celebrate through every diversity that we go through. I'm gonna tell y'all, I do not celebrate the stuff from my past. I celebrate that I got here from my past. I've had a lot of friends and family members who's died. And by the grace of God, I should have been gone. Many a times. Big Hank too. I know.
Sir. Yes, sir.
And we still can laugh because I have no hardship to nobody. There's no seeds of unforgiveness in me. One time I said I was tired of myself. I said, for real, I got tired of myself. I'll never get 2007. I was tired of myself.
Wow.
And I said, Lord, I basically was like, man, fuck it. I'm done running with the devil. I'm going to get on my knees.
Yeah.
I'm going to forgive everybody and everything from the time the doctor slapped my behind till this present day. And guess what? I got up. I was lighter than Scrooge when he got past them 3 goals. I had no guilt or no more, unforgiveness. Unforgiveness will weigh on you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm glad Big Hank said that. I'm going to share something with Big Hank. Let me show y'all how I found out Big Hank be praising the Lord. This is true. Big Hank be praising the Lord, y'all. I ain't going to
Come
even
on,
lie to
man.
you. He be praising the Lord. I got to share this. I got to share this. I got to share this with y'all and stuff. He knows what I'm talking about. When he said, he gonna be like, "Oh, look, yeah." Is it popped up? It should be popping up. Oh, there we go. There we go.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Wow. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus.
That's
Thank you,
somebody who
Jesus.
don't mind. That's someone who doesn't mind praising. Now I
Yeah,
didn't ask him what he was doing or how he felt that way, but
yeah.
I was going through. I said, man, and and the thing is, I think, there's Carl. Carl said, talk about me and stuff, man. Because I was telling everyone yesterday. I said I'm getting my ticket at the time. I know he said August the 4th, so this time I have
Carl,
want to go out there and be putting
yeah.
to meet the constituents, my neighbors, my brothers, family, and stuff. And sometimes it's just letting those know about us, not the same ones. Dean to know us, Carl know us, um, Richie and them. Got love for the BV Nation. Anybody who accepts us for us being us, because we're gonna accept you by you. We have to trust me. You can come to my crib and stuff. Um, it's not that we try to make anybody feel guilty. You can't feel guilty. It's like Tom Hanks just said. You can't feel guilty because you didn't have nothing to do. You didn't have nothing to do with slavery or anything like that. But sometimes some of our Americans act like that. You know, I can understand Governor DeSantis about the kids' sexual situations in school. I think that is totally unacceptable. No, 17 and over is when you can't go to a horror movie or R-rated movie unless you're 17 and older. You have to be accompanied with an adult. Why would you have to be teach our kids how to make cell phones and use electronics and learn how to write and come up with legislation and all that stuff, right? But we don't need to teach them the sexual parts. I seen this one guy article. He said, man, today our parents used to have taught us birds and the bees. Now these parents today's got to teach the birds and the birds, the bees and the bees. The bird be a bee, the bee used to be a bird, stuff like that. Because
Yeah.
it's one person who's trying to be like, hey, there's this big fight now about trans. Look, for one, transsexuals is men right now. There's no operation yet to put a penis on a woman. And how they found this out is that when um the dude, what's his name from the Wheatie box? What's his name? See, we don't forgot his name because we try to be politically correct to call him by his new
That's
name.
Kim Kardashian, them stepdaddy.
Bruce Jenner.
Bruce
Now
Jenner.
he's known as Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah.
But Bruce Jenner didn't have his manhood taken because he wanted to be gay. As far as a man messing with a man, he felt that women had the best what they say ecstasy, climax or something like that. So when he had the operation, the doctors, he tried to get with another women and found that he didn't have no feelings. Only God can give you feelings, the nerve endings. So he told the doctors, this ain't working. You can look it up. He said, this ain't working for me. Let me get my penis back. And they told him, sir, we can't, because that's the operation we have not been able to figure out yet. And your penis is now sitting there at the first edition version of the Wheaties at the Smithsonian Museum. It's in a little pickle jar, just floating around. It's just, it's like the last little pickle in a big old jar, just floating around back and forth. He said the bird that used to be a bee but still has a stinger, but still likes to fly with birds. See, unless you have a Frankenstein operation where they put you on an electrode table and take all your muscle mass and all that, you just because you got these, I'm just saying, I'm gonna say fuck it. I'm gonna just be honest. If you get your penis taken off, doesn't mean that you're a woman now. Mm-hmm. Now you can think psychologically that you are and all that, but you got to go through an operation and move all your muscle mass. For real. Just because you got your penis don't help you in sports. It's not like you can fall down in the track and you fall on your penis and bounce you back up. No, it doesn't affect. Matter of fact, if you're a man and you get your balls cut off, you still compete against the men. If you run a track, you just be in the inner circle. It'd just be one less jockey strap that we had to issue out. I mean, for real. This is a shame. We get into a topic where it doesn't look. Stop making society feel empathy for you for something that you are insecure about.
Yeah. They I think it's called transgender or something like that, when they cut it off and then they start participating with the women. And I don't think that's fair at all, man, because you got these men, like you said, you got these manly bodies, you understand me, and you get to run against the women, and now you breaking all the records and all that kind of shit because you're a man. That shit don't.
Matter of fact, it makes them stronger when their nuts is cut off, because now the excess of blood has got to go more into the body, more into the regular part of the body. And so, for real, and they got to pass all this legislation. Man. That's like I said, I'm gonna say this again. Men, we have to let the women figure out the abortions. That is not on us. If you don't have fallopian tubes or uterus and stuff, we got to let the women figure that one out. We have no say. They got women lawmakers, women doctors, women general. I seen two men. This is when it came to my attention. Men arguing in it. Big Hank abortion. Like, for real, dude. Women talking. And it should be where we need to be in it, worried about child molesters and these pedophiles and giving them more time than you giving people who did a burglary. You're going to send somebody who do a burglary for 5 years, some man, little child, and molesting him. He gets a year and probation. Now you got to go on Megan's Law to see who's around your name. No, they should be in the pedophile prison. Preferably, I don't want them out here by my children.
Yeah.
And then all these repeat offenders of the same stuff. Let's have a Senate meeting on that. Worried about what somebody's done with their all and stuff like that. And I have nothing to do with it. I don't care what someone does with their body. I mean, someone will have tattoos. It's my body. How much control do a person want to have of each other? When women can have a baby all by themselves, then they have 100% say in what happens. The baby's father should have a say in what happens to her child. Well, I don't think that the woman's a child, that they agreed to have one, Dean. I'm talking about there's women that get raped. And they have told this is what abortions was about. Someone made a mistake and they like teenagers and they're like, oh, I didn't want to be pregnant. We got our life in front of us. You know, it's an agreement. But if you and your woman decide that y'all want to have, you can't, another dude come in and be telling you, nah, man, your woman can't do that. I'm just saying, it seems like it's a choice thing. You know, they go to the clinic. Don't think that we had proper clinics. Abortion's been going on a long time. They used to use old hangers, I heard, or make them drink some concoction with bleach and stuff mixed in it and kill it like that. You've heard different things, Big Hang, am I correct?
Yeah, I heard stuff like that, hangers and stuff like that before.
And stuff. And so I'm like, you know, when I, you know, I'm gonna tell you something. When I say sometimes you just got odds is against you, I be like this, brother. Right here. He said he's gonna try. He can't.
That nigga stressed out too. He stressed out like he was on his way.
Yeah, hey. And once again, like I tell my neighbors, I said, look, I'm not a terrorist. They want. I got some videos where talk about how he came from Mexico and everybody in Mexico was saying, hey, be wary of the blacks. Because they get aggravated, angry, like, you know, he was worried about us, right? And I've been telling people, I don't ever know no acts to walk in a good time to just start shooting everybody. Now you said it too, see, like, now if you heard somebody say, fuck it, you're gonna say
fuck it then. Fuck it then.
But he ain't gonna just come in and just out the blue and just start shooting people you don't know.
Yeah, that's that weird shit they doing now. But they doing that now though. They doing that shit now.
Dude said, wait, but this is what I like about Eric though, Big Hank. He said, terrorist.
They know black people don't fuck with no bombs. We don't fit that profile. Because you got to be on time with a bomb. A nigga fuck around, oversleep, boom, is it 8:30? God damn it, I knew I forgot to do something. Shit! I done fucked around and blew up my own basement. Shit! Didn't I tell you, wake my ass up? I'm supposed to be a terrorist today.
Supposed to be a terrorist today.
And you know what we do is we laugh.
Yes, sir.
We laugh because in the God, laughter is the best medicine. You know,
and he's that's what he says. Laughter is medicine to the soul, and it's in the Bible.
Yeah, you have to laugh. But let me tell you something. When Big Hank said he was having that heart attack, I keep looking at some Asian women looking down at him. Now, at the time he was going through, it wasn't nothing funny.
No.
I know you had to be getting irritated with them. What else do you think I'm saying? You can't, because you keep, and they're like, my ass.
Bitch say, call a what? Bitch, call an ambulance. He said, the what?
Common sense couldn't even help. You see a person down, we supposed to already call 911. That you can tell that they do the country. Call what?
Or like laughing at a nigga, man.
Look here, man.
Yes, sir.
I ain't gonna keep on long. I want people to stop being so hard on each other. First on yourself, and then being hard. You know, we all go through problems.
Yes, sir.
Who always talk about their problems, they never even knew that you're going through anything because it's always their problem.
Right.
I need freedom, man.
Man, you got to give people the same kind of grace that God gave you. That's what you got to do, man.
That part.
And you know how long it take you to get your stuff together, and you still trying to get your stuff together. So you gotta give people the kind of grace that God gave you, man. Like you said earlier, you gotta have unforgiveness in your heart, man.
Yeah.
You gotta have forgiveness. You gotta have forgiveness in your heart, not unforgiveness. Forgiveness.
Yeah. Isn't that the equation too, Big Hank? That's the equation of Mark 11, what you just said. Forgive so you can be forgiven, and then your Father can give unto you.
Yes, sir.
I've had people, I say, y'all saying cuss words. Y'all do, look, man, let me tell you something. It's not the words.
It's not what come out your mouth. It's not what go in your mouth. It's what come out your mouth. Now, that's what defile you, what come out your mouth. But it ain't got nothing to do with no cuss words or none of that, man. It got to do with you. Curses, that's cursing and blessing they talking about will come out your mouth.
And actions of murdering, adultery, robbing, stealing. When you say, hey, we're going to rob this bank, you know, spoke up on something to do something negative.
Yeah.
Which may lead to like being murdered or something, you know what I'm saying? Or you being murdered.
Yeah.
So I tell anybody, just hold on. And you know what? Let me tell you something. You're looking at two. My sister ain't in, Cynthia Joy. She's, you know, please pray for her, y'all. For her family's going through. But you're looking at two brothers who done been through a lot. I got bullet wounds on me. He got bullet wounds.
Yes, sir.
That one's for real. And I'm not making this up. If you ever want to see it, it's like Jesus said, told Thomas, check my hand. I don't mind showing my shirt and show you what the grace of God did for me.
Yes,
the ballistic matched 7 other murders from getting shot on the 710. Breaking news. Meeting on the way, do a show, Compton. Shot me point blank range with a sawed-off shotgun.
Yeah.
Serial killer. Didn't do nothing to him. Guess what? I forgave him, though.
Yeah. And
then sometimes one individual from a race can do something. Don't mean that whole race is like that. If you're a white person, you had a problem with it, don't mean all blacks is like that. That was an individual thing between y'all two. You know, we, because it was Latinos that shot.
Mm-hmm.
It was trying to kill blacks. Now, somebody said, man, I'm gonna start going out and killing some of these Latinos. I said, man, that's crazy. I had some Latino friends that was very upset about it. That one individual didn't represent that race because that one individuals did that. I've seen blacks say, yeah, they Mexicans taking my jobs, taking all the jobs. When have you been picking strawberries? When did you out with Walmart and try to get a job?
Yeah. When was you on the corner selling flowers? Nigga, you on the corner selling flowers, nigga.
I've been hungry motherfucker. I ain't seen no brothers come down with no corn. I get that corn, they dip in that flour with that butter and that cheese. No, I leave that red stuff off of there, man. Yeah, I gave $2 as a tip. You know what I'm saying? I'm a tipping person. It was $1. I gave him $2, man. He got his hustle on. Walking down. It's been hot summers. Man, I want something from him. Here he come with the icy thing. Swinging the little bell. Only thing the brother was selling me was some incense.
Or some weed.
Or some weed. I ain't mad at them about that.
Hey, I wanted to tell you, man. Shalif came over here yesterday. We were talking about the movie, that's the Saturday movie on the porch. Me and you.
Yeah.
And so we was talking about it yesterday. So we getting ready to put that in effect, man. So we're gonna need you to be down here when we get ready to start.
Sure, man. Now, as long as if he's willing to work with you, must be doing. Everybody thinks like, hey, because you know what? When you got prolific-minded thinkers and stuff, we have to. Even myself, I sometimes gotta. How can I say? Humble myself even more. Sometimes I have a thought or I have an idea and I run with it and can't figure out why the rest of the world don't run along with this. But where I want to do that. It's so funny because it came across my heart big time, and the Lord says it's time to make it work. And I got they for us to do it. We just gotta and put better, our acting skills, our comedian. Man, when I saw Big Hank up there, I'm telling y'all, he had me laughing. I'm still laughing, and I'm so grateful that God showed him grace to be here.
Yes, sir.
You could have been depressed after going through 100,000 some people and take yourself. Me too. I made mistakes and everything, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Nothing but the grace of God.
Yeah. And I tell anybody, if you're going to get to this level where we're at, you got to forgive yourself first.
Yes, sir.
We hold that. That's the hardest thing, is that we won't forgive ourselves. We are holding against us and stuff. And man, I ain't gonna hold you up, bro, anymore. We're gonna be back here next Tuesday. Yeah.
See you Tuesday, man.
This is Big Hank Norman. I'm Roy Anthony.
Yes, sir.
Thank God for our families and everything. They endorses us. They love what we're doing. Even our pastor. If you have a chance, oh man, I'm gonna say this: anybody who wants to pay their tithe, you don't have a church home. Because I've been having people reaching out to me. They've been hearing us testify, because I'm on my 1 year. I've been serious. I was hungry this time last year. and the pastor showed me, and you can look at the book. Big Hankster, he know, but they constantly saying my name on there. So, but it's not about profiling with the human part. It's showing that, God, I thank you for done for me.
I'll put you first, God. I'll put you first.
There's been times I had some money, I got some money, and I'm like, well, God ain't worried about this. And something say, none was a spirit, but I always say something. It said, oh, you doubt me? No, I don't. I put it in that text message. I sure do, quick, fast, in a hurry. So if you want to have if you don't have a relationship or something like that, and you want to try like us. Now, I do want to, I want to give first to God, because we're about to get off here, but you can go to St. Luke's Holy Baptist Church in west side of Long Beach, Dr. Williams. You look that up, or you can reach out to Big Hank. He can help you get set up. Second, Richie King is serious about running for the presidency of the U.S. and stuff. A lot of veterans, y'all know him. He's a good man. I mean, you can please some of the people some of the times. We'll never be able to please all the people all the time. So, but at least we can get a difference and stuff. At least somebody younger in there and stuff. I seen President Biden fall the other day, and I'm like, oh, right? I'm about to say, where's U.S. Force One? You better take him to Providence and stuff for something and stuff. But I meant to bring up his thing. He has a donation. If you can't go on the WO Entertainment page, he has the little square thing. GPS where you can take a picture and show where you can give donations to it and stuff. That, like I said, we getting out here. This is Big Hank. I'm Roy Anthony.
Yes,
God
sir.
bless.
Peace out.
Peace out.
Cynthia, we praying for you, Cynthia.
Always, Cynthia. Love you.
Welcome to the Roy Anthony
Every Tuesday and every Thursday. Y'all tap in.
Is this thing on? Can you hear me?
Roy
Is anybody out
Show
there?
is the spot to be, baby.
Hey, tune in. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the